Hello everyone, welcome you all once again to this online session. Feeling good to see you all once again after a long time, right? Today we are going to begin with a new chapter, that is chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. We will do the basics which you had learned in your earlier classes in this session, and then we'll proceed further. First, I've given you a set of pictures which has metals and non-metals. From that, you have to identify which ones are metals and which ones are non-metals. See here, the first picture which is given as yellow color pellets here, that's nothing but sulfur. Next, it's water. Then you have silver. This is nothing but your gold. Here we have wood, and then you have phosphorus. Okay. Now from this you have to identify the metals and non-metals. Before doing that, let's first learn how are metals and non-metals categorized, where do they actually come from. All those things we'll see first. So you know that all substances are made up of matter. This you have learnt in your earlier classes. And this matter can be classified as pure substances and mixtures. This you have done in your 9th standard. Pure substances again have two categories, that is elements and compounds. Okay. Mixtures are again of two types, homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. So, matter can be classified as pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are again classified as elements and compounds, and mixtures are of two types, that is homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now, in this picture, you will tell me sulfur. Sulfur is a metal or a non-metal? Yes. You all know sulfur is a non-metal. Similarly, your phosphorus is also a non-metal. Now coming to gold, gold is a metal. And your silver is again a metal. Now what about this wood and water? We don't categorize them as metals and non-metals. Water is a compound, wood is a mixture. How do we say so? See, metals and non-metals fall under the category of elements. So what are elements? Elements are substances that cannot be split up into two or more simpler substances by chemical means. They contain only one kind of atoms. If you take gold, a sheet of gold, the entire thing is made up of only one kind of atom. They are all gold atoms. Let it be silver, let it be copper, a bit of copper wire, anything you take, they are all made up of only one kind of atoms. Similarly, when you take these non-metals like your sulfur, phosphorus, carbon, they are all made up of only one kind of atoms. When you take a piece of carbon, it's made up of carbon atoms. If it is a pellet of sulfur, it's all made up of sulfur atoms. Atoms are minute particles which cannot be seen with your naked eye. You have learned that. So, these metals and non-metals fall under the category of elements. So, now comes, when you talk about your periodic table, they all consist of the elements that we have now. You have learnt in your first chapter, means your second chemistry chapter, about periodic classification of elements. Now, this periodic table consists of only elements. Elements means what? A combination of metals and non-metals. Now you can ask me, Miss, metalloids are also present here, inert gases are also present here. See, when you talk about inert gases, you can categorize them as non-metals even. Now metals, which are properties intermediate between metals and non-metals, are supposed to be your metalloids. Now in the periodic table, whatever elements are shown inside blue color boxes, they are metals. In green color boxes you see all metalloids, and in yellow color boxes you have all non-metals. So you just have to know that elements that are seen in the periodic table are a combination of metals, non-metals and metalloids even. Metalloids have properties intermediate between metals and non-metals. Some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals, you can say. So these elements are nothing but those substances which are made up of only one kind of atoms. In the structure of atom chapter in your 9th standard, you must have done about this. Helium consists of 2 electrons, atomic structure, right? All those things you must have learned. So when you take an element, for example, your magnesium, it's all made up of a piece of magnesium ribbon, and I say it's a pure substance, right? So a thin strip of magnesium ribbon is made up of so many number of atoms which are all magnesium atoms there. You don't have any other type in that. So now what about your compounds? Compounds like water, it's a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, right? By electrolysis you can split them. Mixture is again made up of many substances. Combination of many substances is what is called as a mixture, right? So elements are nothing but those substances which are made up of only one kind of atoms. So we classify this gold, silver, copper and all as metals because they are made up of only one kind of atom of that particular element, whatever we are talking about. If it is a copper wire, the all atoms, that means the atoms that are present in that particular wire, piece of wire of copper, are all made up of copper atoms. So it's just to say that metals and non-metals are coming under the category of elements because they are all made up of only one kind of atoms. They do not have any other combination with them. So metals, non-metals, metalloids, noble gases, they all fall under the category of metal elements because elements are substances that cannot be split up into two or more simpler substances by chemical means. They contain only one kind of atoms. Water, when you allow electric current to pass through it, it can be split into hydrogen and oxygen. Whereas these elements, whether it is a metal or a non-metal or a metalloid, they are all made up of only one kind of atom. It cannot be split up into two or more substances by chemical means. So these are all basics which you should know before we get into the lesson. That's why I was telling all this before I start with the main chapter. Now, in this periodic table, as I told you, the blue color boxes are all metals. So most of the elements in the periodic table are nothing but your metals. Remember this. This may come in your objective also. Most of the elements seen in the periodic table are all metals. So many metals are there. Okay. Now, most of the elements in the periodic table are metals, as I told you. So what are metals? You're classifying copper, aluminium, iron, your silver, gold. These are all as metals because elements that are malleable, ductile and that conduct electricity are called as metals. Gold can be beaten into sheets, drawn into wires. They allow electric current to pass through them. Copper wires we use for electrical purposes. So they allow electric current to pass through them. That is what is called as conductivity. So metals are elements that show these properties of malleability, ductility. Some of them are lustrous too and they conduct electricity, right? And Non-metals are opposite of this. Non-metals are elements that are neither malleable nor ductile and they do not conduct electricity. So from your periodic table, we have these non-metals which were given under yellow color boxes. So in the next class, we'll be learning about the physical properties of metals and non-metals, reactions of these metals and non-metals with the acids and other things. Those things we'll be discussing in the next class. So till then you keep revising what is done till now. Till then, take care. Bye.